Update 2.0 has finally dropped, guys, and with it, a new way of thinking about your weekly rewards. Year 2 has officially started, and while things are available, that's only half the story. Everything else will drop next when Forsaken finally debuts. So for now, let's dive into the first week of Year 2, check out what is available, a couple of cool things that you can do and get, and of course, everything that has changed over for the new week. Guardians, what is going on, guys? Sly here, and Year 2 is finally upon us. The Season 4, it doesn't really start until next week, but lots of Year 2 changes are available right now, including the changes to the Crucible with a much faster time to kill, the new weapon slots, of course, and if you're lucky, even a few random rolls, as well as some new Forsaken armor a week early. So before we start this guide and go through the normal paces, the weekly Flashpoint is currently dropping Forsaken weapons and armor. We'll talk about that in a second, but just in case it is a bug, my advice is to grab it right now while you can. Now it's not much, it's just one piece per character, but it should drop at 400 plus, so definitely check it out. Now I personally did not get a weapon, but a few of my clanmates did. This item is currently locked and you can't use it until level 35. But it's a free, powerful reward that's going to help you out next week, so it is definitely something you should be taking advantage of. Now I'll talk about the new system a little bit more, but first let's head up to orbit and then we'll go from there. So here is the new director for Forsaken. Now notice that your milestones are no longer there on the left hand side. All we have here is Clan XP. This blade, or this menu, is reserved for one-time quest items such as the campaign or special side quests. Your new area of interests that hand out weekly rewards are going to be the gold stars that you see here in the director. So let's start with Mars, which is this week's Flashpoint. Now for Flashpoints, you have to go to the vendor itself and get your reward from them. It's bugged this week, and it stays at 0 when you're trying to see, how close you are to finishing it. It stays at 0 or 1% the whole time. So just go ahead and ignore that and judge by the bottom bar. Keep looking at it until it's all the way filled up. Then it'll tell you to go see Anna Bray. It also won't tell you when you're done. So like I said, just keep checking. It takes a bit more effort to complete Flashpoints in Year 2. However, there are multiple ways you can complete it instead of waiting for public events to spawn every time you go to a new area. Lost sectors, patrols, and public events will all count towards your Flashpoint completion. Also, every day there will be one heroic adventure available for you to grab. This will count the most out of any of the things out there to do. So always do your heroic adventure first during the Flashpoint, and then make the rest of it up with the other activities like lost sectors, VIPs, patrols, public events, and stuff like that. Once you filled your bar all the way up, go ahead and head over to Anna, and as you can see, she will drop you Forsaken gear, possibly a weapon, and it goes by your light level. So make sure you put on all of your 400 weapons and armor, try and get as high as possible before collecting the reward. Alright Guardian, so our next stop, the Leviathan and the Raid Layers. They have moved from their own area and are now listed underneath Nessus. So head on over to Nessus and you'll see the Leviathan at the very bottom. Just click on that and then you'll see the menu that you're used to. Okay, so for the Prestige Raid Layers, we have Arsenal as the modifier for this week, and for the loadout, we have anything as kinetic, and then double fusion rifles. By the way, linear fusion rifle or sleeper does count as a fusion rifle for your heavy. Moving on to Callus, things are a bit weird, especially this week, so let's go ahead and explain a few things first. First off, engrams are auto-decrypting, and this is happening across Destiny. Raids, strikes, missions, everything is auto-decrypting, so it can fill up your postmaster pretty quick if you're stuck on something for quite a while. Also, do not delete the exotics that you're getting. At least the ones in the raid are dropping with Year 2 perks on them, even if they're Year 1 like exotics. As you can see here with this Kefri's Horn, it has Year 2 perks, and it is way better than my original one. So if anything, delete the older one and then keep the new exotic. Also, planetary challenges are no longer a thing. That's when you hold your ghost out and you see the 3 things on the right hand side. They have been integrated into bounties now. So when you pull out your ghost on the Leviathan, you will no longer see what the challenge is for the week. And since it doesn't tell you at the beginning either, I had to manually go in and find out. So the activities this week, at least for the order, Gauntlet, Bathers, Dogs, then Callus, and Bathers is this week's challenge. Now with the new ammo economy, it is extremely odd, and you will run out of heavy pretty fast. And with these new changes to yellow bars no longer guaranteeing heavy brick drops, things can get dicey. So if you're having problems with bathers, use an energy shotgun like the Ike Aura shotgun or the raid shotgun, and save your heavy for the lanterns. Even the raid arms, where you melee to get heavy, they don't work either. Probably because that perk comes from a year 1 mod, which are also in a weird place this week. So start using new setups and see what works for you. I didn't have enough heavy for bathers and I kept running out, so using an energy shotgun helped out tremendously. But it kind of took away my auto rifle for the longer ranges for enemies. Either way, it's going to take a while to get used to how things work in this new meta, ammo economy, and all that stuff, especially in raids. So I recommend trying things out now before Forsaken gets underway and you're really going to start to have to rely on things. Okay guys, next up, let's go over and take a look at the Vanguard. Like I mentioned earlier, heroic strikes are no longer around and normal strikes now have modifiers on them. Also, modifiers will now be the same for everything, all heroic activities across Destiny until the reset. Now for this week, there's only 1 strike difficulty, but next week, expect to see more options. So just like heroic adventures, we have solar burn for the weekly, and for today, we have glass and brawler. Moving on to the heroic daily story missions, again, the burns are going to be the same as well as the modifiers, but we have 3 to choose from. Mission 6, the original D2 vanilla mission, then we have Chosen, and finally the Gateway. Alright, so our last thing to take a look at here in the Vanguard area, the Nightfall, or should I say Nightfalls. In year 2, we will have 3 to choose from in case you're looking for a strike-specific weapon or armor piece. And instead of waiting for 1 to come around, every so often, having 3 will almost guarantee it that you're going to see it again in a couple weeks' time. Alright, so for this week's Nightfall options, we have the Pyramidion, Tree of Probabilities, and Strange Terrain. Also, another weird thing for this week, Nightfall card still works, and you can change the modifiers for it, however strike scoring is gone. So just set it to the easiest thing possible to go ahead and get through it. As for Crucible, we do not have a rotating playlist for this week, just quick play, rumble, competitive, and private matches. However, the old milestone for playing 3 Crucible games is still going to be a weekly reward and absolutely worth doing. For this week, well, that's up to you. Alright Guardians, well that is everything up here in orbit. Our next stop is to the tower. We'll check out Eververse, Rahul, the Gunsmith, Benedict, and then say goodbye to Ike Aura. Alright my friends, welcome to the Bare Bones Tower, and it looks so weird not seeing the statue here and all the the confetti and stuff. It just looks so empty. I don't even remember the glass being here. I guess that's how long it's been, but anyways, welcome to the tower my friends. First we're going to take a look at Eververse. Now, since the Solstice of Heroes is gone, it's back to the old stuff we had beforehand, so it's just the Season 3 stuff. So we'll take a look at that. If you need any more of those things, this will be your last chance to get that. So let's pop on in and take a look at what good old Ellen DeGeneres has for us. Alright, so starting with the emotes, we have Curtain Call, which is the rose thing, a little thank you, yes, yes, rose, rose. Beautiful. After that, we have a blue one called Impatience. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, it's blue, so you can't, what do you expect? But moving on to the Sparrow, we have an exotic called the Vespulaser, and it kind of goes along with the whole Warmind kind of theme. And after that, we have the Eververse armor set, and this time it's the chest piece, but it's definitely not worth getting. So moving on to the end here, we pretty much just have weapon skins. We have Hypnopompic for the, was it Sleeper Simulant, I believe. Yeah, it's the white and red one. After that, for Sturm, Symbiosis. We'll take a look at that one. I think it's the shiny metal one. Oh no, it's the gold one. Cool. Alright, moving on after that, for Telesto, we have Reef in Ruins. And having Telesto in my energy slot is definitely a little weird. After that, for the Anabray weapon, the Bray Legacy, which is okay. I kind of like the, what it comes with better. And after that, at the end here, we have Warbeast skin, which is one for the Acreus. Moving on to the bottom here, for the respawn animations, we have Traveler's Wake and then the Guardian Gold. For shaders, we have Omelon Meteor Gloss, Watermelon, Cerulean Divide, and then Mercury Vex Chrome. Of course, we have the boons here, and finally Fire Team Medallions, which are something you definitely need to be stocking up on for Forsaken. You should always have a Fire Team Medallion active for the first week easily. So definitely do not forget to buy some of those. Alright, next up, let's take a look at Rahul, because even though engrams are auto-decrypting this week, he does have something cool to show you, and that is a shader deletion. Now, some of you might think that you don't have it, but you do have it. Once you get to his main menu, notice the top right underneath the glimmer, where it says RB, bumper over, and there are all of your shaders. Now, the problem here is, at least the problem for me, is that they only delete stacks of 5 at a time. So let me find a bad one that I have here. Look at that. Where's the 871 of these bad boys. So even if I just hold this down, dude, that's going to take forever. Although it is a good glimmer bank, so whenever you need some glimmer and Forsaken, at least that will be around to help you. But still not quite the efficient thing I thought it was going to be getting. But either way, I guess it is still better than one at a time. Alright, so next up, let's take a look at the Gunny. Now, there is still time. I thought mods were going away today, but apparently they're not. It's going to be in Forsaken the first day it drops. So you can still get mod components if you need to stock up. If you haven't done that, for the last couple weeks, now is definitely the time to do it. Simply just go over here to where it says Glimmer. You just acquire a bunch of them, and then you finally go down the bottom, transfer them back over, delete them, and repeat. That way you'll get a bunch of mod components and stock up on those, because I have a feeling mods in year 2 are going to be very, very expensive. Alright guys, next up, let's go ahead and take a look at Benedict and see what he's got going on for us. Alright, Benedict, my man, let's see what you got. So, looks like it's mostly normal Leviathan, maybe one thing Prestige. Alright, so to start off with, we have the normal Leviathan helmet, the normal Leviathan gauntlets, then we have the Prestige chest piece. Then I think it's the normal, what is it, stars? Yeah, Spire of Stars. And then the normal class item after that. And at the very end here, we have Midnight Coup, which if you do not have Midnight Coup, it is a very, very good hand cannon. I'd recommend buying it. So if you've never had it drop before, now is definitely time to get it. Alright, well that is everything for Benedict. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ike Aura. Now you can no longer do any of her missions, but if you have tokens left over, you can still spend them here before they just simply disappear. And they will be disappearing next week for sure. So if you don't have them, like a certain thing, especially the Hunter Cloak, I think the Hunter Cloak looks really good. So if nothing else, just buy that for your Hunter. But get rid of them before Bungie gets rid of them for you. Alright my friends, that is about it. But before we go, let's hop on over to the main area, and I'll show you something about bounties. Alright, so let's pop into Zavala, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Now, originally, I thought bounties expired if you completed them, or if you didn't complete them, but turns out they do not expire if they're completed. As you can see here, I've had these for a couple of days now. So you can still claim them after they're done. So if you can get a huge, fill this entire pursuits tab up with, completed bounties, you can turn all of them in Forsaken and rocket ahead of your level. Especially if you're going to have one of those XP buffs on, and with a ghost or something like that, you can go to the EDZ with like a 10% bonus, when you're on the EDZ ghost, stack those together, then turn them in, and you're going to be rocketing ahead of all of your friends in terms of your overall XP level. And for what I've seen so far, like I shown with this other chest piece that I got from Anna Bray, you can see that it says requires level 35. So my recommendation is to get to level 35 before you start the Forsaken campaign. That way, whatever drops for you, you'll be able to use. And as you start rising in level, you'll be at the, you'll already be ahead enough to use the new stuff. So I think getting to level 35 is going to be a really good starting point in Forsaken. As soon as you log in, turn in all of these used bounties that you have, get up to level 35, start the campaign, and make sure you have your XP Ghost on along with your Fire Team medallions and any other buff that you could possibly be using. And I think that's going to be the best way to start the game off. So every day from now until Forsaken, grab these bounties, finish them, but do not turn them in. Just let them stack, and then of course turn them in when Forsaken goes. You can do this for Crucible and for the Vanguard. So you can definitely get up a lot of XP in a very short amount of time the instant Forsaken drops. So I just now recently found that out within the last couple days, so I figured I would tell you guys about it in today's reset guide. But that is about it, my friends. Those are all some of the new changes. A lot of weird things are happening this week, so just hang in there. Things will definitely get better next week when everything, comes full circle. But that is it for me, Guardians. As always, thank you all so much for watching and for supporting Sly Nation. Feel free to check me out on Twitter or Facebook at Sly Nation or Sly Nation Gaming on the FB. Subscribe for tons more Destiny 2 Forsaken and Anthem videos. Spank the thumbs up, but only if you enjoyed yourself. And comment down below if you have any questions, any tips, concerns, or if you just want to say what's up. Take care, guys, and keep those eyes open for more videos coming out here very, very soon. But until then, this is your dude Sly, and I'll catch you guys next time.